Hi, Ants. Welcome to the show. I'll be kicking off very shortly, just sorting some logistics out, um, as always. Um, okay. Yeah, let's go. Welcome. So, if you'd like a reading, please do visit the shop and you can purchase yourself a reading. And if you'd like a particular topic for the collective, I will do that as well. Right now, I'm going to do a reading for one of my TikTok friends, followers. Um, Very kindly, they followed me and I followed them. They have a really good positive aura, and as a thank you for them reaching out, I'll be doing a reading for them. Their username is Ebony Whoism, something like that. I do apologize if I got it wrong, but this one is for them. They're a nice, very positive, very strong soul, very wise person to say the least. So this will be a reading for them, just in appreciation of their support. Okay. We have the Eight of Swords and we have the Seven of Swords. I mean, I think it goes without saying that they have been through a lot, they've achieved a lot, they've done a lot. I think they now obviously found the path that was their calling. So it shows that this person, they are very strong willed, they're breaking away from a lot of um, things that they were tied down by that weren't really serving them or any purpose at all. The colors here just remind me of like water. Yeah, I know they're reversed, but like water's free flowing, it changes its shape and form. And now I think they have also become quite um, like that. They've become adaptable. They can adjust to any sort of situation that comes their way. Um, and they have actually really developed so much, and I think they're going to continue to develop, and they will do really well. Even with the sun shining, it's just pointing down at them, and I think there will be, a time where they will have, like, let's say, they'll be the main focus of a particular a brand, you could say, or a particular sort of deal that they're waiting, if they are waiting on one. But yeah, they're going to become a center of attention for a particular area of their life in terms of business. Like you have an ad campaign, or if you have a business and like you're that main focus and you're referred to that industry by your business. So I think that's coming up for them very shortly. Um, However, I think there are some sort of there's some fear um, within them. Um, they were stuck previously, quite strong, and it's shown here. But now they've broken away from that sort of worry, that sort of mental bogged down sort of vibe, and they're free soul. And anything that's happened to them, they've taken it on board and they've learned from it rather than it holding it back, rather than um, it holding them back. And when swords come up, I just think it just reflects that the person is very strong willed, and also a very strong fighter. Um, Obviously, not physically as such, but sometimes the battles that you not but the battles that everyone doesn't see are sometimes the hardest battles that we fight, and sometimes, or if not most of the time, we fight those battles alone. So you know previously I think they were avoiding accountability, but now they're coming into that light of understanding accountability. And I think they're being a very strong force in supporting a community and helping people. But I think for them, in general, now is a time where they need to protect their energy, protect their peace, and put some boundaries. You know, with the Eight of Swords reversed, it's obviously like a blindfold coming up. So it's a time of self reflection as well. You can see like what they were and what they are now. So they are probably going through a time of reflection, and they are now becoming a lot more aware of their own being and their calling. So yeah, so this reading was for one of my TikTok followers. I do appreciate your support and thank you so much. Good evening to all. Welcome to the show. Uh, let me go check YouTube. Welcome to the show, Astasha. How are you? Hope you're having a lovely evening. Well, it's going to be morning soon. I hope you are nice and cool because where I am, it is absolutely boiling. Welcome to the show, David. Welcome to the show, Lorna. If you can, please feel free to use the referral link for your friends or family, and they could probably get a reading from the show by visiting the link and using it to purchase a reading from the show, from the shop. Sorry. Yes, I'll do a quick collective reading for everyone that's here. This reading will focus on money, and then we'll do one for relationship afterwards as the show goes along, and we can do one for so yeah, love, relationships, and any other topic that comes to your mind. We'll do something about people around you. Well, okay, good Pentacles. We had this yesterday as well, or the day before, sorry. I feel for like a lot of you, there's a lot of money coming in, but some of it, for some of you, it doesn't really stick. The outflow is quicker than the inflow, and I think that's now getting into a habit. And some of it, to be fair, is not your fault. Life happens, but I think obviously the money comes in and it goes out, comes in and it goes out. It's like a wave, but I think it's quite important on how you are during that turbulent time of when money probably has to go out. I think that's very important for you to realize that yes, you understand the cycle of money, money will come and go, but the focus is you, you're that constant. So yeah, I do see you guys eventually having that abundance. I'm not saying you're going to become a millionaire or anything like that, but that stability is coming in. That where that cycle of money keeps coming, keeps going, keeps coming, keep going. It will kind of stabilize, and you'll have that inflow. You'll know what's going out. But I think right now, with the things are going at the moment, I mean, the cost of living crisis and whatnot, and life getting in the way. I'm sure people are stocking up on fans and whatnot, and people are charging a ridiculous amount of that. So it's understandable, and I think you need to give yourself credit for how you've managed so far. So don't be too worried. But of course, if you need financial advice or if you need help in that area, there's a lot of services available out there. So please do get professional help if needed. But the feeling I get is that cycle will come to an end. Your relationship with money will become better, provided you become more conscious of how you're spending it and where you're spending it. But it's really important with the money you make. I don't say educated decisions, but more of a thought. Think it through, basically. You know, think twice before you spend it. Can you delay that spending? Can you use that money somewhere else? You know, it improves when you stop moving with panic. Like, you know, sometimes when you have a lot of money, you don't know what to do. Like, there's one philosopher or yeah, a theologian, I can't really remember his name. He said sometimes the problem is we have too much choice. And I think when we have a lot of money and we don't know what to do with it, you know, that too much choice can sometimes be pretty annoying. So so the the four of swords, you know, money, it's not blocked, it's coming in, but you've kind of been mentally drained or you've been too worried about it to maybe utilize it properly. That's what I'm saying. The money comes, it doesn't stay long enough. And then we have the King of Pentacles. You know, it's long term financial stability, maturity, and also making sensible decisions regarding money. So when money comes in, don't get too worried, don't get panicked. I mean, you should be happy, but sometimes you think, oh my God, is this true? Like, I have so much money, what do I do with it? Save it, delay your spending, you know, rest before making any financial decision. Don't do any impulsive buying. You know, if you can, for example, if you feel like eating out, maybe have a snack at home and see, or make food at home and see if you feel like still eating out. But this energy here, general, it's quite of a heavy one in terms of where it's saying there's no quick wins as such. You'll have to. Hi Beth, welcome to the show. Where you'll have to obviously work for your money, but there's no quick rich get like get rich quick scheme basically. You know, you'll have to understand your money flow, you'll have to understand where you're spending your money, how can you save, prioritize your spending. um so yeah, it's saying it's if you want that stability, that king energy, you need to build a better relationship with your finances in order to then spend like a king. Even the king, he doesn't just spend blindly. You know, there's thought out decisions. It's logical or it's sort of reasoned with, and don't do any impulsive buying as such. Just think it through. Wait. That's the reading around your money. It's coming in. You have the money. You have the brains as well. But I think recently, the cycle of in and out, it's sort of just got you used to that. But yeah, that's not a good way to carry on. So I would suggest just to pay slight more attention to how you're spending it and with what intentions you're spending it with, because that's equally as important. So that was the money reading for the collective. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome to the show. Good evening. If you'd like a reading, please feel free to visit the shop. Okay, YouTube. Hi. Hi, Purvi. Thank you for your message. If you'd like a reading, please just click the pinned message on the YouTube chat, and then I'll be more than happy to do a reading for you. And then shortly, we'll be doing a collective reading on relationships. All love and relationships. It could be romantic relationships, could be professional relationships. We'll see what the vibe is when we get there. I hope the lighting is much better today compared to what it was the other day. Okay, cool. We'll kick off with relationships. This is a collective reading for relationships. Okay. I see a lot of celebration coming up, but I can also feel like the celebrations that are coming up. It could be it's coming home, and you're celebrating England winning the World Cup, um, which can sometimes be draining if you've been drinking, and if the weather is like this, you'll feel drained out. But yeah, a lot of celebration coming up, a lot of color, um, a lot of what's it called, unity. I feel as if some of you've had like, I won't say a broken relationship with your family, but more of like if you've been distant from your family, you can see it getting better. I could see them making an effort as well. But along the process, I think it might be slightly draining for you. But again, linking it back to the money reading, I would be very careful on how you spend your money when you are celebrating on this relationships rather. Um, but it's a very bright relationship ahead, where I think you'll need to manage your energy. The other person or the other people around you are very ecstatic, they're very energetic, and I think you are at the moment in a different mindset and a different frequency. Yeah, you want to be part of that crowd, but at the moment you've got a different focus, and I think you need to create that boundary or be very honest about it from the get go. So yeah, a lot of celebration, a lot of like love is around you. Um, it could also mean a lot of partying as well. And I think I have a feeling like yeah, a lot of partying. I mean, given the way the weather is at the moment here, I wouldn't be surprised. Um, but yeah, so it's very important that you are in charge of your own energy and not just letting yourself be drained for the sake of it. So that's quite important to understand here. So yeah, even like with the treasure chest, like it's reversed. So it could mean that on this particular person or these people that where you are spending your energy, your time, your money. I say money again because it's coming up again and again, I suppose. But yeah, if it's you're not going to get a return on it as such, and then therefore you have this expectation in your mind that you'll get something in return, but you won't. And I don't think you should expect anything in return anyway, because they're not really forcing you to spend money or your time or your energy, but you're doing it because maybe that's just you're like that. But then you cannot expect anything in return. With the Nine of Cups now and with the Eight of Wands together, it's a sequence, 8 and 9. So if you guys are waiting for a particular relationship or for someone to, you know, let's say if you have a crush on someone or you've been in the talking stages of a relationship, or you think you want to take something forward with someone, it would be a really nice time right now. Um, yeah, but remember, sometimes the quicker the things go develop rather, the quicker they also fall down. So in this relationship that you are getting into, it would be really well, but I think you'll do too much too soon, and then you'll be like, now what? So yeah, things are moving forward in the relationship space, provided that you are aware of your own boundaries, your limitations in terms of how much you're willing to spend money, time, and also on who, because not everyone would want that. Yeah, I think it's okay with what's happening. But ultimately, in this relationship, things are going forward. You're going to be enjoying it a lot. You're going to be like, letting your hair down, for example, a lot of partying, like I said, a lot of celebration. Yes, you'll have one significant, person that you have, but you'll have maybe your family and friends around it as well. So if you're planning a wedding, it's an amazing time, and therefore wedding planning can be draining and it can be expensive. So please think carefully. But amazing time if you're thinking about getting married, a very fruitful relationship, and right now you have great support around you. You really do, in terms of people and relationships. I'm not saying use them in a bad way, but appreciate them and show them that you appreciate the support and that you see them. And with those who have been distant from their families recently, I think now is a time where you should approach, or you can wait for them, but there's no harm in you approaching, but as long as it doesn't hurt or harm you in any way. So yeah, in relationship, all in all, it's a brilliant time. A lot of love, a lot of light, a lot of positive energy. So that's fantastic in terms of relationships. And that was a collective reading for love and relationships. If you'd like a collective reading on a particular topic, please feel free to message in the chat. Okay, well, welcome YouTube. Sorry, we just saw this now. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. Thank you for your message. Please confirm if you've paid through one of the links in the YouTube chat, and if so, I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Hi there, Gabriella. Welcome to the show. Good evening. Yes, I am. I'm doing well, thank you. It's just really hot. I don't know, but yeah, I'm doing really well. Really nice to see a message from you. Thank you. If anyone would like a particular topic for a collective reading, please feel free to message um, the topic in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to do a reading on that particular topic. And if you'd like a personal reading, then please, by all means, feel free to visit the shop. Yes, I think it's beyond melting. If anything beyond that exists. I mean, we ought to appreciate it though. There's not, I think, us in the UK, we don't really get the sun as much as I think we wished we did. And now that we have it, I think we should appreciate it. I think the sun is kind of making up for lost time. And it's like, here you go, have, um, have so much. It's giving in abundance, which is nice, I suppose. I think that's as I was saying in my, I think it was yesterday's reading. The function of the sun is to provide the warmth and light, and I think it's doing that with full abundance. Yeah, I think yeah, the materials that our houses are made here. You're right. It just traps the heat in. I think my wife was telling me. She said she saw a hack or something. Again, this is something I've heard. She goes, you should open the loft and let the, in physics we learn. The physics, I think it is, let the hot air travel up, and hopefully it will cool the house down a bit. Yeah, but the thing is, I think even like in those countries, the evenings become really cooler naturally. But here, though it's nighttime, it's still really hot, and there's hardly like any like breeze, or anything, any cooling factor, which I think changes the whole perspective, which makes it a bit more annoying. I've ordered some cooling blankets um, to help with it. Of course, we have like the cooler and the fans and whatnot. Um, so I've ordered so my dog has a cooling mat, but now he also will be getting a cooling vest. Um, so he doesn't feel too hot. But he loves just sleeping on the floor. He just does his. It's like he's doing yoga. He just stretches himself out and just. It's like he's cooling his belly. Oh yeah, that's a good shout as well. The cooling patches. Yeah, I was what's it called? Ice packs. Told my wife to use some ice packs to keep her feet cool. Wrap them around a towel and just put them on the feet. But yeah, that's a good shout. The migrant patches to keep cool. But I think it's just like you don't even. I just don't even feel like eating. You don't feel hungry. It's just so hot. You just want cold, 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 cold. Oh, my daughter has been every day. Daddy, ice cream. Okay. Given the weather, you're allowed. Cool. Uh, yeah, I don't mind at all. But you're more than welcome to purchase. I'll do a collective reading. We did that today in the garden. We just basically lashed out on the hose pipe, filled up the pool, and just told our daughter to splash. And then, yeah, like cold water hitting your face feels differently. Okay, we'll do. So, given the love reading I did, going based off that, Gabrielle, I always say if you're unsure about something, sometimes the best thing is to do is either think or write about what's pushing you towards something or what's pulling you away. You know, if it's a love path, I'm sure I'm assuming there's a significant other and someone of interest. If you go off how you've been with them, how you felt with them, and you think you spent enough time with them to understand them, and they understand you, and being with them, it gives you fulfillment in life and relationship. And when you achieve something, they're cheering for you, or if you're starting something, they're pushing you, and they always are, helping you to become the version that you want to become. Then by all means you should trust. But if it's the opposite to that, then if you feel like your energy is being drained, and you're not being able to focus on your goals, and go forward in life, then I believe maybe they're not the right person. Yeah, I assumed you did. Of course, yes. I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. I'm sure you can understand. So, as an energy exchange, even if you could either just leave a penny as a tip, that's also fine, Gabrielle, if you want to, because I know you do readings. I could tell with your username. So, as an energy exchange, just this is just an exception for you, Gabrielle. If you could even just leave a penny in exchange for uh, energy exchange, that would be much appreciated, and I'll do the love reading for you. Okay, so this is a love reading for Gabrielle. She's also a fellow reader, and she has abundance of wisdom and knowledge. So please do check her page out, their page out. Thank you, Gabrielle, for joining the show and spending some time here. This reading is for you, your love life, and whether or not you should go forward on the path that presents itself in front of you. Okay, the lovers as well. all I can think of is migraine patches, Gabrielle, with the blue. But nevertheless, there's a lot of passion on this path, I feel. There's a lot of passion between the pair of you. But I think, speaking slightly technically now, I think you feel that this relationship or the path ahead of you is purely karmic, and that obviously, if it's karmic, it's probably going to teach you something. But you're worried that what if it doesn't last? And I don't think you're in a space where you want to experiment as such. So for those of you just joining now, this is a reading for Gabrielle based on for her love life and whether or not she should take the love path presented to her ahead of her. So yeah, so there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of love, you could say, but I feel that you're worried that it could be a karmic relationship. Of course, it will teach you something, but you're not sure of the residue from it, and you're not in that space of mind where you want to, like I said, experiment. So we have the Five of Swords and the Lovers, and then we have the Queen of Wands. So they're all, strong, and I think to an extent very balanced. Yes, they're reversed. That's not the point. The point is the energy in general is quite balanced, but very fiery. It's quite heated between the pair of you at times, or will be if it isn't. So I think with this path ahead of you, take a step at a time and deal with the situation as and how it as it presents itself. The lovers here, it's about love, and the lovers come. You're a very see, things always end up going your way somehow or the other, and this card kind of highlights that very nicely here. But there's also some mixed signals coming in. I get a feeling of like someone wants to win with the ego battle. But there's been a lot of miscommunication, or I'll say not clear communication. They've tried to communicate, um, but it hasn't gone well. Do give credit for them trying. Um, the connection feels very, very strong, but sometimes it can be very icy. And then with the crow, you've got constant things in your ear about them. Maybe you're hearing rumors about them. Crows are usually related to, in what comes to my mind right now, is ancestors. So maybe like them from a network of yours or a circle of yours, and you're worried if what would people think to an extent. Um, but if it makes you feel like you have to compete or you have to prove yourself to accept them or to get their attention or the validation, then no, it's not about mind games. That's not love. Um, so the bottom line, and in conclusion, there is passion, which could be identified as love. There is attraction, a lot of romantic energy. But I think it's a very short-lived, here for a good time but not a long time kind of vibe. Is what I'm getting. So that's why I said that uh, each day of this relationship or this path, look at it as look at it from a fresh perspective, a fresh pair of eyes, rather than looking at it as a whole. But I feel like it's very karmic here. There'll be a lot of lessons to learn, um, especially with the Queen of Wands. It'll be colorful, it'll be nice. There's a lot of fun here, but it's not stability. It's not you. Um, but that's why I say you ought to be very clear in communication. But remember, you are first as well. So if you don't feel like you're being loved, if you feel like you're being, you have to fight for their attention, and if you feel like you have to prove yourself, then of course not. And if you feel tied down, then no. But don't worry about what people will say. If they make you happy and if they have pure intentions and they're willing to, work with you and, work with one another to help each other, then by all means you should go ahead. But I'll just say, don't ignore it completely. Give them a chance in terms of, be honest with them, see what their mindset's like. But they're probably really confused as well, I suppose, to an extent. But the strong feeling getting the attraction is beyond the physical. There's a lot of like mental attraction as well. So they do think about you often. Yeah, the fruits from this relationship would probably be very short lived, in my opinion, to say the least. So yeah, so that was for Gabrielle. Thank you for asking, and this was just for Gabrielle. Oh, Gabrielle, thank you. Fantastic. I really appreciate the tip. Thank you. Uh, oh, brilliant. I just saw this. Uh, oh. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Gabrielle. That was for Gabrielle. Thank you so much. Um, if you're still here, thank you. Okay. Yes, oh, I hope it helped, provided you with some clarity. Um, I really hope I really hope it's helped. But yeah, the energy is good in terms of attraction, but I think it's good. It's probably going to be very short lived because I think you are in a very mature space in your head right now, and you're looking for stability. You're not too fussed about the romance as such. You're more about yin and yang now, where you want the other person to complete you. You want to grow in all areas of your life because you've kind of been there, done that sort of thing, and now you just want to move forward with peace, love, and light. So, yeah, I think that's. I think you know what you want, and right now it's quite difficult because it's like, yes, it's I'm enjoying where I am right now, but this is not where I want to be. So that's why I said enjoy the ride kind of thing, but be very clear and clever, or clear in communication and thoughtful too, because the other person also has feelings. Let me check YouTube. Hi YouTube, hi Memories, hi SZZZ. And I really do appreciate, Gabriel, that you considered myself for a second opinion. It's very kind of you. So thank you again, and do appreciate that. Please, if anyone else would like a reading, please feel free to visit the shop. And those on YouTube, please see the pinned message, or you could see the description of the live, and you are more than welcome to um, get a reading through Whatnot if you wanted to. You can get a £25 voucher, a site credit from Whatnot from the link, and you can get a reading on the Whatnot live. And those who are on Whatnot, I'm just sending my invitation link. If you have friends or family who would like a reading, please do share it with them. They can get a reading um, on the show. If not this one, maybe the next one. Good evening, Forum. Welcome to the show. Good evening, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Going to do a collective reading now and just see what you're feeling today. This is a collective reading for the, let's say, you could say an energy check-in. An energy check-in. What your true self is feeling. Maybe it's a message you need to hear today. Maybe it's something that you've been thinking about for a very long time. So I hope this message gives you clarity. Okay. So a lot of you have been worried about social pressure of some sort and you want to break free from that social pressure, but you're not sure how to. So yeah, so this is a collective reading. So this is a collective reading for like an energy check-in, you could say, or like what's on your mind. For the collective, a general reading, you could say, just to see how everyone's feeling. So we have the Five of Swords and then we have the Star reversed. So I think some of you are trying to recover from a setback that's happened quite recently. Mentally drained, and now you're worried about like how you're going to move forward as such. Let's see. And so it's more of like a lot of mental noise. You're playing a lot of old conversations in your mind, a lot of arguments, a lot of burden on your shoulders. I think there've been so many situations now where you've tried to defend yourself, and now you're thinking like with the Five of Swords, like was it even worth it? Maybe you've acted the way you usually don't act. Maybe you spoke some harsh words, or maybe you acted a lot more, let's say, a lot more defensively or aggressively than you would have liked to. Um, or maybe someone did that to you as well. That's possible. But I also think that um, the strong energy where you've lost a mental peace by dealing with these people. With the star reversed, it's a strong indication that you're feeling a lot of, you know, disappointment. You feel disconnected from yourself. You feel like this situation doesn't have any hope. But if you remember the relationship reading for the collective that we did, that if you're feeling distant from a set of people, family, friends, or someone, now is the right time for you to either message them, or they could message you. So, so the vibe in general is like don't give up on yourself or them or the situation, but you need to step away from the drama. That's really important that you step away from the drama. Stop replaying what's already happened because you can't go in the past and change it. but you need to build yourself up again, build your faith, be kind to yourself, give yourself credit because you probably did the best you could in that um, situation. You're not falling behind if that's what you're worried about. You are free, but right now is a time for healing for your mind. You're healing. You're not falling behind. You shouldn't compare yourself to others if you have been recently. But it's a time for healing. You're healing. Give yourself that time, give yourself that love, and give yourself that energy. So this was a collective reading, just to see generally what was on people's minds on this chat. Hi Yansel, welcome to the show. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Hi Jack, welcome to the show. Sometimes I think people come to the show and they'll be like, "Oh, which world have I entered?" And they quickly leave. Well, that's okay. So yeah, welcome to the show. We just did a collective reading for a general vibe and mental check-in, and I think there's a lot of people are feeling quite disappointed at the moment with a recent outcome situation, or maybe how they've handled it. But it's time to move on, and this time is about repairing broken bonds between you and some friends or family, and about healing. It's all about healing right now and giving yourself credit and moving forward and spending time with yourself and loving yourself. If you'd like a collective reading about a particular topic, please message in the chat. But if you'd like a private reading or a personal reading, rather, please visit the shop and you could purchase yourself a reading, and we could do a reading right here. So we've done money. With money, the collective reading was all about money's coming, money's going, and your reaction to money. But we also had the King of Pentacles, in which it was important to understand that there is long-term stability with money. Things will become better, but you need to become more disciplined with money. Yes, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but money always finds you, and you need to build a positive relationship with money and become more accountable on the way you're spending it. But there is long-term stability with money, and then with relationships, a lot of color, a lot of love, a lot of celebration, but a lot of energy being drained, a lot of money being spent, and there's like a burden of expectations that you have from people, but you shouldn't, because they're not telling you to do or spend that money rather. So it's important that you just enjoy their company, and you don't have to feel obliged to, um, you know, either spend or show that you're someone else when you're not. Just be yourself. So that's quite important to understand. But that's also a time now to repair old bonds. If you've missing someone, or if you're distant from your family, you can message them first. That's not an issue. You should, don't let the ego get in the way. And then with the vibe check-in that we said, what's happening generally, you feel quite disappointed or let down by a situation, and you're overthinking a lot of mental burden, and also a thing about what will people say about social pressure as well. So those are the three topics we've covered so far. And I think with that, I'm going to call it a night, morning. So thank you to everyone that's tuned in, joined in. Oh, I think someone's just joined. Welcome to the show. Hi, Lias. Welcome. I'm more than happy to stay on if you'd like a reading or if you'd want a general collective reading, more than happy to stay on if you'd like a reading.